Wesley, the reason why you're not talking to girls is because you can't show them the shit that's on your phone, man. I'm gonna ask every man a question. Can you show a woman what's on your phone right now? Can she go through your ex feed? Can she go through your Insta feed? Can she go on your Explore page? And I call myself out.
Can she go through your Google search?
Yeah.
Can she go through your Google search?
I'm good today. No, I'm banging today. I'm ready for it. But I'm saying, if I met my wife, my future wife today, and she's like, "Yo, let me look through your bookmarks." y'all know what I'm talking about, bro.
That's some real shit right there. Yes, it is.
I was a bookmark man, okay? I said, I'm not gonna like it. Shorty, I'm not gonna like your photo, but I'm a bookmark it. And then this girl's like, why do I got 2,000 bookmarks on my face?
Lee Johnson, Real Man, Real Stories. Lee Johnson, Real Man, Real Stories.
Welcome, world. Real Men, Real Stories podcast.
Real men, real stories. We got music.
Hello, world. Lee Johnson, Real Man, Real Stories podcast, and Real Man, Real Stories studio with an exciting show going on for you today. I got a guest, but before we get to that, you know what I'm saying? I got to introduce my main man, my fellow professor. Go on and tell him what you about, my brother.
Good evening, everyone. Y'all know this professor, and guess what? I have a DTSY announcement. I repeat, do not buy LG and Samsung appliances. Stay away from buying their appliances. They're crap. Don't fall for all them bells and whistles, because them bells and whistles don't keep your beer and your wine cold or keep your gelato frozen. Because every time they break down as soon as the warranty is up, and then when you need a part for it, it's discontinued or they don't know arrival time. Stick to brands like Maytag, Frigidaire, GE. Oh yeah, and stay away from Kenmore, because Samsung started making Kenmore refrigerators, and now I found out LG are the one that make their appliances now, because they don't make them themselves. They just let one of those companies make it for them. They just stamp their name on it. And that's your DTSY announcement.
That was your DTSY announcement. You know what I'm saying? Now that's my homeboy, Professor DTSY, and I will back that up. I will sign that. I will co-sign that with you. The last LG TVs I had, the Wi-Fi was horrible. Wi-Fi kept on cutting off. I actually had to take my last LG TV, take the whole back off. Go, the little Wi-Fi part at the bottom with the strip. I had to take that out, clean it off, dust it out, put it back on, and then the TV finally worked. And it still messes up sometimes. So life is not good with LG. You know what I'm saying? Life is not good. We need to change the subject on that. You know what I'm saying? So my homeboy done said his little mantra. I guess it's my turn for my little mantra, man. I am so Atlanta today. I could wear a coat in the morning time, turn around and put a wife beater on in the afternoon time, and fuck around and put a nice little sweater on in the evening time, all in one day. I ain't saying through the year. I can do that only in the streets of Atlanta, man. You could have every season in one day, man.
Whatever you want, you're going to sweat it out.
You're going to sweat it out, man. We so Atlanta here. We so Atlanta. Now, my man that just talked to us, man, that's our great guest, man. He's one of the contestants on the Entrepreneur Awards. You know what I'm saying? Entrepreneur.
Yes, sir. The Real Entrepreneur from Dr. Casual Pitts. Yes, sir.
Real Entrepreneur, man. He was one of the contestants. Weslie Alberty. So go on and tell him.
I love it.
Go on and tell him.
Appreciate y'all, man. How's it going? I'm reporting here, Real Man, Real Stories, out here in Latonia, Georgia. So Weslie Alberty. I am the owner of No She Labs. We're a multimedia outfit. I call it the 3 C's. We specialize in comics, cartoons, and collectibles. And right now, I'm just focusing on animation and just focusing on community work, man. So while always just illustrating every day. And I'm glad to be on here. We're going to talk about everything.
Oh yeah. We're gonna take it all over the world. We're gonna take it over the train. We're gonna take it over the moon. We're gonna take it under the bridges. We're gonna take it everywhere. But right now, I want to take it to some more information about you, man. You came in here with some of that artwork. It was great. You already sold some to some people in the studio today. You know what I'm saying? You already sold some of the people in the studio today. We're gonna bring it out in a minute. We're gonna bring it out. I just want to ask him a couple questions, man. So how long have you actually been doing art and animation?
Yeah. So I'm 28 as of this recording. So I've been drawing my whole life. But I didn't start taking it seriously until like after high school, respectfully, when I had to get things going. But I can actually tell you a funny story about that. But I went to so I grew up in Tampa, Florida, of a evangelist family. I grew up Free Methodist, Baptist and Free Methodist, and my dad was a pastor. So they put me in a Christian academy, I believe either pre-K or kindergarten, and whatever school. But they had a white elephant, and during the holidays, and from what I remember and what I was told, I grabbed the first thing I could find, and when I unwrapped it, it was a football. And then my mom said that I started crying. So then when I traded it for the finger painting set. I wanted the finger painting set, so I was like, "Hey, there we go. Let's go." From the get go, my family, they were very invested in the arts because not just through church, but also in general. Like, my family, they're all speakers. They're all entertainers, if you will, like instrumentalists, and whether it was preaching or seminars, doing things through school. But just a fusion of music, like I'm Dominican and Italian, so just a fusion of music. Like I had my cousins were like, I had some metal heads, then I had some rap heads, and growing up in a place like Tampa, Florida, then you had the reggaeton, you had the dembow, you had all the Spanish music too. You had Haitian music, you had African music. I mean, my mom listened to a lot of world music. My mom had a whole Zouk tape. She listened to a lot of stuff like lounge, bossa, zouk, slow jams, gospel, and then with visuals too. My family loved a lot of movies. Since it was church, they weren't too much on the risque stuff or like horror, but like we just they just watched everything.
They just watched everything.
Documentaries, cartoons, Disney.
Y'all had movie nights?
Yeah. We had movie nights, if you will. But it was more like we would watch some we watched some Disney stuff, but then as we got older, or as I got older, they like kind of weaned off of Disney, as a lot of people did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. My parents watched stuff that I wasn't rocking with, like Oceans, and like Mission Impossible, and like.
So you
No, that stuff was cool because as a kid, I was just a cartoon head. I just want to watch cartoons and animated stuff, But like, no. My parents watched a lot of stuff. My dad was heavy on The Matrix.
Oh yes, that's one of my favorites too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Funny that I don't know if you show this to a 5-year-old, but I saw Kill Bill with my dad, and that was raw. That movie actually changed my life, for better or worse. Kill Bill. It was like I walked in. I think I walked in during the ninja fight. Okay. You know what I mean? My dad was just like, all right, your mom's like, come on, just watch. And it definitely. Well, then seeing Lucy Lou's like hand get chopped off. Like it accelerated my mind as a 5-year-old. I was like, like damn, like okay, stuff like that. Like we come apart. But yeah, no, my dad loved action movies. He was a big Sylvester Stallone fan. So all the Rockies, all the Rambos, Lord have mercy, Rambo, man. He was young Rambo with it. Yeah, and then my mom loved all like the romantic stuff. Like she'd be watching like Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman type stuff, So like it was just it was a fusion of just everything, man. So that's what definitely gave me my palette. Like when you see some of my art, sometimes it's like a controlled chaos. Yeah. But just like anything, it's just like I'm a result of all the influence, good and bad that I was just that I was fed, growing up. So yeah. And that answers your question on like the going back. So yeah, like I always just naturally through gaining stuff, I always wanted to just kind of emulate or output the stuff that I was being fed. And then too, what kept me going with illustrating was like I started to grow a communication with it. It's like if I was upset, like even when I was a kid, sometimes I draw some, if I had a bully, I draw like them getting hurt or something, type stuff. Like, it was emotional.
Would you try to visualize it and so it'll happen?
I got in trouble in 5th grade because
I was about to ask a question like that. I was about to
I got
ask a
in
question
trouble,
like that.
right. I got in trouble in 5th grade. No. I think it was like 3rd grade. I got in trouble in 3rd grade.
Who is this, Malcolm? Why are you drawing Malcolm? Why does he have an arrow in his head?
Here's the problem, right? Here's the problem. It was a kid drawing. It was a kid drawing, but the teacher got concerned because I drew like a praying mantis coming out of this kid's head. It's actually pretty tight, but the teacher was just concerned. I'm like, lady, like you're lame, dude. But my mom was like, bro, like he ain't drawing no violence or something. He's like a bug, this giant bug coming out of the kid's head. She's like, that's actually a pretty vivid depiction for like a kid to draw. Like, so my mom was like, let's steer this energy into something else. Yeah, like you'll see like a lot of intensity in my art, type stuff. And it was even from as a kid where I'm like, if I don't like something, if I love something, like yeah.
You wear your heart on your sleeve.
Yeah, sure.
It's like right now.
I got it's hard lying. Like I'm not a good liar. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Even with my art, like I'll be lying to myself. I'm like, Wesley, like you know what you're feeling. You know what this wants to be, and you're trying to make it something else. Like don't lie to yourself, and that's what helps me like work at the amount that I do, or output at the rate that I've outputted. So, yeah.
So what is your biggest lie? You can go on camera. So you don't lie that much, so I'm pretty sure you know some of the lies you told. Because I can't remember all of them. I can't remember all the lies I've told.
Yeah, right.
What's
I'm about to say,
what's yours, Larry?
Because I'm about to say, it's hard to keep up with a lie. So I always just told.
I wish I knew you. Yeah,
I just always told the truth. It's hard to keep up with them.
No, I can't even tell you. I wish
black men cheat.
I don't think no.
Yes.
That don't open up a. I don't. Like you can't just put the bracket of black men. It's like or man. It's like. X doesn't cheat, Y doesn't cheat. It's like, what does that mean? What does black men don't cheat even mean? You know what I mean? So I'm saying no, but I'm saying like humans,
say no?
No. Sorry. Humans cheat. Humans cheat.
Yeah.
Humans can cheat.
Because both men and women cheat. True.
Humans can cheat. Okay. No. Sorry. Sexuals, because asexual, I don't think they deal with that. But it's like sexuals can cheat.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You absolutely correct. But the question is, do black men cheat? That's what we talking about. Do black men cheat? I mean, I told you we're gonna go everywhere. Yeah. That was one of the things that I've overheard and I've heard a couple people say they don't. Do you believe black men don't cheat?
Yeah, all men cheat.
All men cheat.
Maybe I'm just taking it in a different angle. It's like, we cheat on ourselves, man.
Oh, okay.
So like you said, maybe that is a thing. What have I lied to myself for a long time? I've lied to myself that like I didn't need help. I didn't need help with trauma, or I didn't need help with in general. Like I lie to myself as a man that it's easy to just do things. It's a form of pride too. It's easy to just do things and not take the help. But that's what I was lying to myself with. I was lying to myself that I could do it all by myself, in a lot of different corners of my life. So when I say men, sometimes men cheat on themselves. Maybe you set yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
You set yourself up to step out. Like
sometimes I don't think it's a setup. It's an unintentional intentional. It's one of them things. It's one of them unintentional intentions. I unintentionally did it, but I intentionally did it at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's that gray area that human beings, because I'm with you on that one, love to portray. So we're gonna get down to it, man. I met you at the Entrepreneur.
Yeah.
It was the season 1.
Season 3 premiere.
Season 3
it was the premiere. Yes, sir.
So describe to me how, I know how you got on there, but tell everybody here, how did you ended up winding up on that show?
Yeah. So first thing I want to shout out is Classette. Shout out the showrunner, director, visionary Fani. I appreciate him, and I got to say that because I wouldn't be here without him. So he and the store, Classette is a streetwear boutique. To put it in simple terms, but it's expansive. They're worldwide. They host a mixer bi-weekly, and it is like DJs, food, come explore, meet, network. And I was out there. I got a box y'all might see where I had my prints. I always have just prints with my artwork because people like stuff. I was just outside of the store that night. It was like a Wednesday night in late February, and I was just promoting my work because I got other artists and creatives and other people interested in art. I was like, hey, yeah, check out my stuff. There was a gentleman named Jeremiah Bullock, and shout out the Bullock family. They are also a part showrunners with Dr. Pitts, an entrepreneur, the Real Entrepreneur. Jeremiah saw me outside, and he's like, "Oh, hey man, I like the art you have." And I'm like, "Yeah, thanks." He's like, "Are you an entrepreneur?" Just on the spot, I was like, "Yes," because I didn't put myself as an entrepreneur. I was just thinking like, "Oh, I'm just a drawer tonight," But he was like, "No, man, yeah." He said the spot next to Closet was called Space 323, and it's a studio. And he goes, "Hey man, we're doing casting upstairs. Have you heard of the Real Entrepreneur?" I go, "Nah." He goes, "Well, we're doing casting for season 3." So some of my friends, they were like, of course, some people were like, "Oh no." Then my other homie, my agent, if you will, for Off the Line, he's my art agent, and also another just legendary director. His name is David, aka Capo, the owner of Off the Line. He told me, he goes, "Hey man, just go up. I'll follow you, or I'll just go up there in a bit." They just got caught up in other stuff, but I went up there, and I met just the camera crew that was there. I met again the Bullock family, and I met Dr. Pitts. I met Kay Shari, who is another showrunner in his own, or he's on his way to being showrunner. Just rapper. These people got so many hats. I love them. That's why I'm just giving them this moment to just express my gratitude. They just saw me. They go, "Hey man, yeah, sign up." I just had to sign, my likeness to be on camera, and just ask a few questions, and that was it. I went in the room, and they're like, "Quite on set." And Dr. Pitts asked me. He was like, "Hey, okay, so who are you? What is the name of your brand? What do you promote? And what do you think you'll bring to the Real Entrepreneur?" Questions like that. So after that, in late February, it was like I got through phase 1 and 2, and I made it on the Real Entrepreneur. Okay. Of course, you got your mandatory calls and meetings and all that, but yeah, man, it was about like 30. I think it was like 30 to 40 submissions. But when you get in the meeting room, man, you saw people just drop. Yeah. Because some people are just like, okay, this is not for me, but I just like to say this is like, God doesn't dangle keys in front of you, like I got the opportunity, and I was like, "Wesley, do it. This is what you've been asking for," in the sense of like a chance to get uncomfortable, a chance to give another angle, meet new people, like being here. And then just again, eventually, because I know like as the show rolls out, everybody will get to know. I was like, let them know what No She Labs is. Let them know who Weslie Alberty is. I've done a lot of I've done some public stuff, here and there. Like whoever finds the lore, you'll know all about me. I've been on camera before, But this is phase 2 of my life. So going there, yeah, it was a great experience, man. And being with that crew, I just felt good spirit, man. They're all spiritual people, like God-fearing people, and it felt like it was meant to be.
So yeah, the Real Entrepreneur is actually a real reality show.
Yeah,
everybody goes through a competition. They filmed it all. You can check it out on Tubi, and you can check it out on YouTube.
Yeah, Roku.
My bad. Sue, you can check it out on Roku.
Yeah, it's Roku exclusive. Yeah.
Roku exclusive, and you can check it. You can find them also on YouTube.
Right? Yeah, I believe the live streams will be on YouTube, and then I think he'll publish them once it's through. Okay. But right now it's Roku. But yeah, hey, I think the live streams right now as we record.
You know what I'm saying? And see, this is actually his third season. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This is actually his third season. Yes. So the man knows what he's doing. He takes all these people, these different entrepreneurs, he puts them in the house. He gives them challenges each days. People get voted off. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's a real live thing. It's a real big thing. So so when you went on there, what changed you? You went into a show a certain way. You're out the show another way. So how are you changed from leaving out that show?
Yeah. So I can say that I could say I built more confidence, of course. And the thing is, confidence in the execution. Like, of course, I'm human. I get intimidated because it's like my intimidation is like I respect people, so I value, their opinions. You shouldn't value that much, but because intimidation, it's not a healthy value. But it's just like that, you know. Like my intimidation has gone down to where it's like I showed up, and like I said, you'll see, or I think I told you before the show, but it's like it was a very vulnerable experience because on the show you're on the spot. These challenges, we had like an hour to go through these challenges, and then we're judged, and it's just raw. Like they don't got time. We're like, yo, go. So yeah, I definitely came out more confident in seeing things through.
Okay.
You know, I'm getting better, or you know, I'm getting much better at public speaking. Like I'm vibing with y'all.
Yeah.
But it's like when you're in front of a bunch of people, as I say, when you're in front of pretty people and professionals.
Yeah.
That's everybody's gangster till that. You know what I
mean? you put 1,000 people on your face, man. It might change actually how you that speech that you was practicing about 1,000 times coming up when that sweat starts going. Like, yo, with me, it just got to get comfortable. Like I'm a mess up in the beginning. Like I'm a slow runner. I got to jog slow, and I finish fast. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta get through the twerks, and then once I get through the twerk, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of free falling and stuff like that. Now, Larry, would you do a reality show?
Nope. I would not.
Why not?
Yeah, why not, man?
I'm just some guy. You could do it.
You got your business. It's a secret. You had to put you on the black market. Nah, this is my homeboy right here, man. My man Larry. I know.
I'm more of a behind the scenes.
I've been uncussed everybody in that house out. So was there any? I'm going to go in. Was there any drama? Was anybody choosing? Let me go on and go to the thing. Who was choosing? Because it was a house with men and women. You know, I know everybody was. Was anybody light choosing? And anybody sneak off? Did the camera catch a little? You know what I'm saying? Like who was choosing? Hold on. You pretty light skinny. You got the wavy hair. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You look like you got to go on that little talk game.
So let's say this, dog. Let's say this. I was the second youngest, but respectfully, all the ladies were moms, and all the ladies were from different worlds. You know, let's say that they were all from different worlds. I'm from a different world, man, and let's just say that, like, even in general, like when I got there was I feel like I was speaking a different language. I feel like that a lot in life, but like I was just speaking a different language to these people, so I wasn't attracted. Some folk, I don't know,
that's all you had to say. Listen, I won't feel it none of Leo. I like how you was like, hey, he was on G, his business. You know what I'm saying? And but none of us my type. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying no. They were elegant ladies, if you will.
I like this guy.
They were elegant ladies, if you will. But I'm saying like a lot of them were married too, and I'm like, I'm not in the business of messing that up. You know what I mean?
We're not in the married.
I'm protecting my home, so I'm gonna protect their home too. I said I'm not gonna be a snake and slither around and. You know, I don't roll with that. You know, so, protect your marriage, protect your relationship.
So in other words, what happened on the set stays on the set.
Stays on. You know what I mean? What happened in Vegas stays in Vegas, Lee. That's what we trying to tell you.
I think for me too is like when I say that I was in my own lane is like we didn't have time. We didn't have as much time to really get to know each other as much as we thought. Because when the show was rolling, bro, it was rolling.
Okay.
Like Tuesday, I think the Monday or the Tuesday that we were there, we left the Airbnb at like 10 in the morning, and we didn't get back till like 6 in the morning. G. We didn't get back to So no, ain't no time for nobody. Man. We're here I'm trying to stay motivated. I'm trying to stay spiritually
not
motivated.
On Bad Girls Club. They go down.
That's why they be fighting. That's why they be ripping each other's heads off because they're starved and they're sleep deprived.
They sleep deprived. Yep.
I did see that scene that y'all was up playing the game, and it did look like the way everybody
was at midnight.
It had to be at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. It was one of them. I was like, oh, they look sleepy.
That's why we was a lot of big mouths like We're like, yo, this has been the longest day of my life type shit.
Who did you like the best? I know. So what I'm gonna do, people, when I get ready to put this out, I'm gonna ask them probably put some clips of the show. Yeah, sure. You know what I'm saying? But who was your arch nemesis?
Okay.
Who was your biggest rival?
Yeah. Let's see. Who was my rival? Well, literally, as it went on, well, Brittany is my girl. That's what I'll say. So who's my favorite? Brittany. Brittany's the GOAT. You know, I love her. So Brittany, but she was also a rival too because we were the most artistic on the show. So as the show kept going on, she was like my competition. I wouldn't really say rival because, like I said, everyone is like, we walked in that John like, yo, I'm gonna leave here and be the same person type of
It's
stuff.
a competition, though.
Right? Or you know what I mean? It's like we were all over 25. Oh no, never mind. The youngest cat T, he was 20, but you know, like he got off first, so that I don't count it to be honest. But everyone else is like, we was all no. Shout
See,
out,
he
bro.
talking, John. Shout out, T.
I mean, shout out, bro. But it's like, you know, every no, I didn't get time. I didn't really get time to get to know him like that, to be honest. Like we hung out, you know, and we compared stuff. Like we shot the crap. But everyone else, it was like like yeah, man. Once we were in it, where everybody was just like yeah, it was just you know, self-focused, if you will, man. And like I said, those challenges, man, it was nerve-wracking because you're like, damn, like you don't realize how fast 59 minutes just flies by when you're about to be judged. You're like, damn, I got an hour to put together an entire pitch, you know. Now some people, yeah, okay, we had some Chat GPT soldiers, man. Oh my God, we had some.
Oh man, that's cheating.
No, it is.
That's cheating, man.
We had some prompt pioneers, if you will.
Oh man, I like the Chat GPT soldiers and prompt pioneers. That's the T-shirt.
We had some. There you go. We had some prompt soldiers, man. Because Lord have mercy, I felt like they were Chat GPT. It was like they were robots, bro.
I'm gonna let you know. We can point that out because I have to look over people. Because I have to look over people's resumes sometimes.
You don't talk like that.
And I can tell when somebody use Chat GPT and stuff to write their resume for them.
You don't talk like that. No, people don't talk like that.
Yeah, it be too broad. It doesn't sound personal about that person. See, when I look at a resume, I'm looking to see that person, but all I see are talking points. A robot. See, they just use broad words. Like
you use words you use words you never heard. You use structures you ain't heard. You like there's a simplicity in some of us. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I don't write the way that I draw. Let's say like that. You know what I mean? But like you said, it's just you could feel the way somebody like presents themselves. Yes. Like some writers like to start their story with a question. Some writers they just throw you in. You don't even know. Some writers, it takes you a minute to learn if it's in first person or third person. You know, sometimes the environment's the character. But going back to like you said with resumes, I'm like, you know, furthermore, I'm an illustrious, you know, what is it? I'm a connoisseur of this and that, and I show great interest. And you're like, dog, nobody talks like that. You know what I mean? Yes. Yeah. Furthermore, but I've used furthermore twice.
I've never used furthermore. I've never met a person. If a person used furthermore in like we're chatting, furthermore, I was like, man, who brought that dude? Like, don't bring him no more.
Illustrious ad, bro. That's grandiose ad.
Yes.
That's like trying too hard. You know what I'm saying? That's real bad.
To be honest, like the challenges were neutral. And when I say neutral, is that anybody could have done them gracefully. Wow. You know what I mean? It was each challenge was I can't tell you that it was like as economic as it was intuitive, because you thought it was going to be like, oh, what is your percentage rate, this and that. I need you to make a math breakdown in an Excel sheet. It's like, no. Everything was pitch. A lot of it was pitch driven. Yeah. I think if I'm not mistaken, it was all pitches. That's what entrepreneurs are, you know, most of entrepreneurs
pitching, you know pitching, trying to get investors.
Pitching, you know, so I learned that too. It gave me confidence of like, yo, your ideas are more solid than you think. You know what I mean? And then if you're looking at people, if you're comparing yourself, it's like there's a lot of people that don't see any of the ideas through. They just stay in the drafts, if you will. So it definitely reminded, you know, seeing the results. I was like, damn, okay, you know what? I was like, dude, you're worthy, man. You just need to, again, like maybe we need 2 hours instead of 1. You know? Like, now I'm just learning, like, okay, with what I have, now we'll solidify it, and again, just flesh the idea out more and stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's what I learned from that. But man, each challenge was pretty dope. You know, they brought the guest on, and I like what we had. You know what I mean? As you saw, as far as I got, like, I think I'm pretty I mean, I think I'm pretty dynamic, but like, of course, there were some parts where I fell short. Through the grace of God, I made it that far. But yeah, of course, like everyone, I made it. You know, I fell short of some things. Like, not every challenge was banging.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm gonna just say this: the only time I almost got canned was during a team battle. Of course.
Okay.
Team dragging me down, you know.
Blame it on the rain.
I love the team. I love my people, but we missed the plot in some areas that almost got us canned.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? But I survived.
So what did you take away from the show? You know what I'm saying? Kind of. What did you take away from the show? How do you feel like you ready? You feel like you can go to the next level?
Yeah, you know, it's funny because I mean, I'll just say this briefly, and then I could talk about that later. But it's like I hit a wall after the show. You know, my own wall. We will expand on that. But when I left the show, it gave me, like, when I said it's phase 2 of my life, it just gave me hope, man. And I say hope of like, yes, I got faith, but it just reminded me where I was like, dang, like you can do anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I need to, you know, search more or put myself out there some more in some areas, you know what I mean? But just in general, this opportunity was given to me, and you know, through the grace of God, and like I saw it through. That's what I learned, and I'm looking at that with my projects, where I go, okay, you know, make a product, not a project, or turn your projects into product. You know, as Dr. Pitt says, he says the acronym FOCUS. This is his. That's why I gotta, you know, trade. Let him trade right. He says follow one course until successful. And that's one thing I've been doing is as a concept artist, I like to just, you know, do things. But I go dog. Okay, hone it in. And two, you know, whoever's watching, you know that you got that folder, that Photoshop folder, that After Effects folder of a bunch of stuff that you ain't dropped. Get it out the drafts, upload it, make reels, you know, make your content, make your videos, but you know, upload it. Especially in the age of AI. Anything human is already golden. Anything human is already dope. You know what I mean? But I say that it's like, the show just helped me. Like, I was like, Wesley, see it through. You know?
Okay. That's basically what the show was supposed to do.
Yeah.
So shoot, I'm gonna turn a corner, man. Since we've been talking about a lot of AI, I want to talk about AI. So, would anybody in this room own an AI robot? Take that thing home, turn it on, and have it around your family, your kids, and doing your grocery shopping, messing around with your accounts and your bills. Would you own an AI bot in your crib? Would you have one?
You remember that? You remember that movie with that actor William Smith? You remember that one movie? You know what I mean?
Which one?
The one with the AI robots.
Talking about Terminator.
Oh, we were speaking about iRobot.
Oh, iRobot.
Just take out the A. You ever seen iRobot? That's it. That's what I'm gonna say. And then two, have you ever seen Animatrix? You've seen Matrix.
Yes.
You've seen Animatrix.
Yes, I've seen it.
Okay, so Animatrix, right? They have the block called the Second Renaissance. Watch Animatrix and just watch the Second Renaissance, and look at how the robots they started rewriting themselves.
So now that you're talking about that, so you know I'll be in the news and I'll be looking at all kind of things, and I noticed there was an issue. So there, and you can look this up. There was an AI system, not an actual bot, but it's an older AI system, and they've been feeding the information. They couldn't shut it down. So you're supposed to be able to shut it down. So the AI system blackmailed the handler of the system. So the AI system thought he had broke into his emails and thought he was cheating on his wife and blackmailed him with the emails. If you try to turn me off, I'm going to send these emails to, no, I'm not lying.
Hell no.
So the AI, so that AI system, I'm pretty sure they shut it off. That AI system is thinking. And then I seen another video of people pushing AI bots around and it's picking up and I'm thinking about iRobot.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about I don't think anything likes to be bullied. I just don't. I would not have an AI bot in my house. I wouldn't have anything that man-made because that means we put ourselves in it. And if it can learn and it's stronger than me, I don't need nothing in the house that can beat my ass. That is insane.
Right. So like I said, right?
It can beat you with a pinky. Like, no, you do not need that
in the Animatrix,
You just dog can't even take the AI.
Right, because in the Animatrix, like the first robot went to court for murdering his owners.
I remember that.
And then you're like, yo, like these things okay, this is the problem I have. One, like you said, they're going to go berserk. But then two, my issue is I do believe in the big button. Let's say Tesla made a bunch of robots. Let's say whatever, Apple made a bunch of robots, right? They got the big button. Forget blackmail. They're going to blackmail you where they're like, hey, yo, we got your Google Drive. We got everything. We got all your conversations.
Yep.
We know what you're doing all the time. We got our lenses. This robot is looking at everything you're doing. Whoever's abusing the robot themselves in whatever capacity. Like the big bro company, I do not want. Well, your phones are already. Like you can't use your phone at like under 5% because everything is on. That's why they don't let you use it because like it needs to stay on. But I say that because like with these robots, no, I don't need this giant lens just sitting there. And you think it's just an idle mode, but it's like, no, bro, it's watching you freak. It's watching you harass people, and it's learning everything that you're doing.
In other words, they created an artificial god.
It could feel like it's because it's going to be smarter than the average human. You know what I'm saying? And then, but I think the first mode for these bots, I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be sex.
Of course, they're already there. No, that's what I was about to say. This a little sex bots. Of course, this a little freak. I mean, hey, bro, I don't know if I want to be the guy to flesh it all out on my own interview. You know what I'm saying? But it's like freaky whatever. Like you said about any man, it's like this robot's here while you bring in your sneaky link in the house. He's just watching, and then like I said, hey, it turned into a movie. He's just like, I know you. Type that's stuff insane.
That's insane, man.
Yeah, or imagine it puts a slideshow like you're in front of your wife and he has an issue. He just ding, January 26th.
You be at the barbecue and you tell the AI robot no, and all of a sudden it's a family barbecue. Everybody go into the living room and he got the whole projector. You cheating on your wife right on the screen. Yeah. Everybody's like, "What the hell, the AI bot?" I told you should have let me. You know what I'm saying? Like Johnson. They're
like, I don't think so, Daniel.
I would want that because I could see the political party making a campaign person, a Manchurian candidate, but official, just an AI robot. I could see a string of politicians and presidents being robots. I could see us voting for a robot, and we don't know. So I don't trust humans with technology like that. I think we need to let that one go and just kind of figure it out on our own. But I know a lot of people said they like it. I don't trust it. It scares me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I think everybody's here. Go ahead.
Could it be that everybody just want their own personal slave?
That's the next. I was finna go there. That's the next question. These are my favorite questions. How many times I ask these questions to people? I love these questions. Would you ever own a slave?
No, but like you said, it's just that question. No, and like you said, it don't matter if it's freaky. It don't matter if it's just sadistic. You know what I mean? It's like anybody. Slave, you're just like
slave you know what I mean? Fix your food all the time.
Well, like you said, what if you're trying to update the robot and it's like, no, just like an iRobot.
Breaks your arm like that. Like, no, I don't want no metal.
I said no. You're like, hell no, man.
I don't want no metal thing.
Get that crap, like the grandma, like the mom in the movie, like get this robot out of my house,
man. So everybody in agreements, no robots, no slaves. What if slavery became legal all of a sudden?
Oh man, this country be upside down again.
What if slavery became legal? What if there was some, but it has no color?
You know how many people are going to come out?
Color. Do you know? You think you know anybody personally?
Yeah.
That would own a slave?
Yeah. Dude, no. And like you said, it's just like okay, with just how like 2020, right? And I'm using recent shifts. 2020 and things that happened, like Rip George, George Floyd. It's like things like that. Well, that was I think that was one of the catalysts that really made people start sparking. Like, are you racist? You know what I mean? No, and it's real because like you have some people where they're like, okay, you know what? This is a time for me that it's like if I'm done with it's like if I'm done with prejudice, if I'm done with hate, this is my time to squash it. Then you had some people where they're like, hey, you know what? I'm done hiding who I am. I'm this. So some people will come out and be like, hey, I like you said, like I will say this, bro, like, on the freaky robot thing is you got some people, especially in this, like, this sexual age, where you got some people where they're like, I don't care. There's a lack of shame. There's a lack of shame. in every department.
You know how that came to be. What's that? OnlyFans.
Oh yeah.
OnlyFans when you don't have to go to California or Atlanta or some creepy dude, and I don't need a pimp anymore. OnlyFans. I would say legitimized smut and stuff like that. It legitimized it to the point where people are almost, I ain't saying they respect it, but they're celebrities. Off of OnlyFans, of the porn celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Off of OnlyFans. I think OnlyFans really.
No, yeah. And like you said, it's just like I was born in '96, so I was past this time. But it's like having to go to the nudie shop or whatever. I know y'all, it's like, yeah, I want to see ID. We bypassed all that, you know what I mean? It's like just the age of the internet.
We used to have to go in the back room. Where was it? Blockbuster or Turtles? They had it, the curtain. Oh, yeah. It was the small room with the curtain, and you go in there, you zip the curtain back, and have all the porn right there in the back. Yeah, I remember
the clerk. He looks you in the eyes, and he's like, "Oh, okay, you're that type of guy." You know, there was a shame, like you said. There was a thing of like walking out of that store. You're like, damn, everybody in here knows what I'm into now. You know what I mean? But I will say this though, with the age of this sexual accessibility, like when you mention OnlyFans, it's just talking about internet, porn and all that. It's like it's like you said, there is a secrecy now, and we could talk about that too. I struggle with that for a long time of just like, you don't gotta tell nobody. You don't gotta tell anybody what's going on. Unless men, I can only speak for men, but
unless I turn your camera on and record you,
bro. No.
So we talking about porn addiction?
Oh, I could get on that, but let's say that. Finishing the OnlyFans.
I got you.
No marvel. But men are fighting secret wars, man. We're fighting secret wars.
Hey, you know what? You know what? And listen. I've never watched so much porn till I got on the phone.
Oh, dude, it's
I'm just keeping it on G. I never watched so much porn till I got on your phone. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what state? Texas?
I think they banned it on.
You cannot have no porn. Yeah. There's no porn on your phone.
They banned porn. They
banned everything.
We're healing.
But they got that crazy ass Kill Tony show, man, and they be doing that. I don't understand Texas, man. I don't understand Texas. Right. So we're gonna get in the. I don't want. So you felt like you was actually addicted to porn for a minute?
Oh, you know what? Okay. I guess that'll be the timestamp of getting into this. It's like, oh man, dude, you know what, man? I was addicted for a long time. We'll get into the spiritual tangent, but it's like, I believe in God, of course, I'm Christian, but it's like, I am in this age of my life where I'm trying to desexualize. I don't like to say try. I'm desexualizing. I'm desexualizing because I was just a young cat. Like I lost my dad at 13. And then it was like, I'm glad I get to tell you this in a condensed version. It's a mixture of habit and copium and relief. That's all that it was. But I can't tell you that I'm fighting like a demon. I'm not calling it a demon. Don't ever call it order. You know what I mean? Oh, the order was it was like trauma and rejection. Then as I've turned into an adult, it became just a routine. It became a routine. No, let's call it. It became a routine of release. It became a routine of release because it was the point of like.
Have to release.
Okay. I'm gonna say this. Porn and masturbation. Oh, dude. I'll tell you all about it. Porn and masturbation, they go hand in hand. So what I mean is that like porn, PMO is what they call it. Porn, masturbation, orgasm. PMO, I'm gonna call it that from now on.
Got an acronym for everything.
Yeah. It's easier to say it. No, because they go hand in hand.
I got you.
PMO was my cigarette. Where I'm like, oh, I'm stressed. Let's just, do the thing. And then you mix it of like, the problem that I ran into, man, is that I was like, I was pretty awkward. So it was, when I say habitually, man, is that like one thing, and it wasn't my dad's passing. I can't say that it was the thing. It's just everything. But it was a mixture of like, there was a time in my life, man, where like I was not socializing as much. And that did affect me with the way I was talking to women. Because I was just a regular kid where it's like, hey, bro, you should practice learning how to approach a woman. And then platonically, whatever, you know what I mean? But then with the porn, it's like, no. It's the guilt and the shame and the compulsion of porn that it's like, you can't even make eye contact with people because it's like, you're looking into my soul and you see the dirt, you see the nasty.
So you thinking people, that's what you was going when people were seeing you?
Well, that's why I couldn't make eye contact with women.
For real?
I couldn't make eye contact with them. No, that's what porn brain, dude, porn brain.
I didn't know that.
Well, no, porn brain, porn jacks you up so much, bro, that it's like, you can't make eye contact with anybody, you can't socialize. I don't know. I mean, I got to that level of PMO.
I'm gonna tell you what level of PMO.
Dude.
I'm gonna tell you what level of PMO. Since we sharing, I can't let him share by himself. I gotta share myself too. I got caught by an ex-girlfriend of mine beating off. Listen. This is fucking.
I'm not
great.
laughing at.
This is fucking great. It gets worse. I'm gonna tell you where, because it matters where you beat off at. It matters. And I learned this where it matters. So she stayed with her mom. She couldn't come to my house because she had a kid. So I went in there, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie. Her mom had done a couple things. Like I might come over, she be getting off of work. Her mom would just walk around me in her panty drawers, you know what I'm saying?
I can't coast.
But when she come in there, she'll have it on. She had it off one time and my ex-girlfriend nutted up. But yeah, and I ain't saying I was thinking, but I guess the porn was in the mom's room at the time. I'm not sure. But yeah, I never get mad with, man, listen, man, she walked in, she was crying and shit. I said, damn, that make women cry? She was like, nah, it ain't got nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? I said, you was asleep. If you was still horny, why ain't you just, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't think, it wasn't like, all right, we had sex, it was great. But when I was young, I had a ritual. After I had sex, I would have to finish off some more. I don't know why. Like after I have sex, I would leave a house. I would go home.
We're just men.
Do it again one more time. Like literally beat off one more time. And I think I got caught because we had sex, and I know she went to sleep, and I woke up. You know what I'm saying? I never went to sleep, and I think I got caught doing that. You know what I'm saying? She got me. Like that was traumatizing for me and her.
Yeah. No, it's like well to answer to give you. A piece on that is like that's just libido. Like a lot of girls don't.
Yeah.
No. I mean, okay, some people more like I'm not heavy on the horoscopes thing, but I'm a Scorpion, whatever. And they said they said oh, you are?
No, I'm a Pisces. I'm just laughing how you said Scorpio. You said Scorpio.
I read on it, and it's like they say that we're like high. We got a high sex drive.
Yeah, I used to date a Scorpio.
But it's like that. I don't put it on sexual energy. No, sexual energy is like the strongest. It's the strongest. Like what is it, chakra? But it's the strongest energy you have in it, and that's why so much religion and spirituality they base half of it is on just transmuting that sexual energy onto every other facet of your life. Because sexual energy, they said that if we could power things off of sexual energy, bro, we could have gone to different planets. But if we could convert sexual energy to power, dude. But yeah, finish what you said is like I guess like I had a friend that told me that it was like when his girl caught him, she cried because she's like, man, I can't look like those girls, or I can't do the things that you're looking at. Because honestly, bro, my thing was, and this is when I had to, and this wasn't that long ago, bro. I'm not acting like I'm like fully delivered today, but I'm saying that like my thing was is that I had to look at myself, bro, because my desire started getting more extreme. That's porn, bro. It gets more extreme.
So what did you? All right. Oh yeah, we going.
Hey, you know what? Hey, this is real man, real stories.
We going down the road. So all right, extreme. So extreme. All right, I'm gonna just start throwing stuff out. BBWs.
No, you know what, bro? Look. I'm not getting too much on the porn talk, but let's say no. But it's like let's say I'm not.
We know
No. What I mean is just like let's say like this is like I'm pretty vanilla, and that's what I mean is I'm trying to be more vanilla in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what I mean is just in general is like the desire started getting more aggressive. The scenarios that some of the scenarios that they write in porn. Some of it is obscene. Some of it is obscene where you're like, yo, like, what fantasy world, what world of imagination are you in? And even like you said, boss, is like sometimes what I think that happens to men is that you watch so much porn, you're like, am I allowed to cut? I mean, this is probably the only. No. This is probably the only. I'm sorry for my crew. I gotta say.
Hey, no. This is the best we've done without cussing.
No. You know what? I mean, I'm watching. I think saying the words unnecessary, like you said, but it's like you get to a point as a man where you're like, damn, I could f anybody. You look at auntie, or I don't know about your own auntie. That I don't know about. I don't know about that. I didn't get that.
The age range they're called auntie.
No, but I'm saying like you look at someone's auntie, you're like, hey, she looking kind of fine. You look at the mail lady, you're like, oh, she's fine. You look at your boss, you're like, I could crack this boss. I could crack her. But then you're like, Dog, what is wrong with you, man? What is wrong with you? And I do gotta say,
Hey, I still do that now.
No, but no, okay. Wait, you could think about things, but I'm saying you got some people that
I know exactly what you're saying.
You got some men. You got some men with
it drives them.
You got some men where you're like they cracked every woman in the family. You know what I mean? I mean, hey, King David did. I mean, you know, you got some people like, hey, you know, you got some folk in the Bible. They slept with every deceased lady, every you know spouse, every mom. They slept with their right hand man's wife or something. You know what I mean? You got presidents. Yeah, right. You got presidents. They slept with every secretary. You know what I mean? While the wife is there.
That's Bill
It's
Clinton.
distorted, dog. It's distorted, and I think that and you know what? A little side thing too is that I think, because this is what I go through in my life, is that I feel like that pornography, lust is its own thing. I'm not saying lust, but pornography is what led me into doing other drugs.
Because interesting. That is interesting.
I'm an individual where, again, let me find the way to say it, is like when I have my wife, I don't think we're gonna have an issue with that department. Let's say
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
But what I mean is, in general, is that when you have that drive, man, and it, like, again, when you're not in control of your lust, as they say, it's a lust is a fire. You need it, but it could burn down the house. And I did burn down my house in a bit, where I was like, Wesley, the reason why you're not talking to girls is because you can't show them the shit that's on your phone, man. I'm gonna ask every man a question. Can you show a woman what's on your phone right now? Can she go through your X feed? Can she go through your Insta feed? Can she go on your Explore page? And I call myself out.
Can she go through your Google search?
Yeah.
Can she go through your Google search?
I'm good today. No, I'm banging today. I'm ready for it. But I'm saying, if I met my future wife today, and she's like, "Yo, let me look through your bookmarks." y'all know what I'm talking about, bro.
That's some real shit right there. Yes, it is.
Look, I was a bookmark bandit, okay? I said, I'm not gonna like it. Shorty, I'm not gonna like your photo, but I'm a bookmark it. And then this girl's like, "Why do I got 2,000 bookmarks on my face?" I can't let anybody know I'm looking at this stuff. That's what it is.
That is real. Now listen, I like that. That's the realest shit I've heard in this book.
I'm tired. Look, I'm tired of hiding.
Well, I have a second question for the fellas to go on top of that. If you let her see your bookmarks or go through your phone, and she's find what she's looking for, would your response be, okay, and so what you gonna do about it?
That's your response.
My girl, a bit ago, my girl would have looked through my shit. She would have been like, "This doesn't end. It just doesn't end, does it? It just keeps going. It just keeps going." You know what? Since we cleared the water, I didn't just want to jump off with that. You know what I mean? But I'm saying, like, you know, in 2025, we call it gooners, whatever. You know what I mean? It's like you know, looking at porn for a long amount of time.
Yeah.
While edging is like, you know, you're withstanding the orgasm. I'm just going to say that once, but you know, folks, like, when I was doing that, it's like you make a burner account, right? Let's say a place like X. And then again, I'm happy y'all get to see this. I'm calling myself out. You know, it's like you go on X, right, or you go on Instagram and you make a burner account and you just follow all these porn accounts, or you follow all these thirst trap. We call it thirst trap because that's what it is. You follow all these OnlyFans girls that follow other girls that follow other girls, and the next thing you know, you just have a straight porn feed. And then you're looking at that shit all day. You're looking at it all day.
But you can't even pull your phone out in public. Because if you pull your phone out, as soon as you put all that stuff, so if anybody's behind you, you try to hurry up and turn it off, because that's all your algorithm.
My mom's like, "Oh, hey, can I use your phone real quick?" I'm just like, delete, trash. You know, I would leave it in the trash bin and then pull it out. I'm like, "Nah, dog." I said, Wesley, this has to stop. This has to stop, because it's bleeding into every facet of your life. Some of the stuff we talk. No, today we're talking constructively, and you know, we talked into AI, and then this is the world we're in.
Hey, man.
But it's like you know, even some conversations I had with girls, like they would talk about something perverted, and I would just take it on some other shit, and they're like, what incarnation are you talking about?
So all right, because I think you did what my homeboy did. Yeah. So scene. We in a room. Two girls come over. I'm telling you, they're gonna go. Whatever you do, they're gonna go. They definitely gonna go. It's me and you, bro. Me and you. So we in there. Two man. And I got one of them, and I'm kind of creeping around, start doing my little thug dizzle. You see it, and then the other one is there, and you turn around. What you do? But like my homeboy started talking about craps. He started talking about shooting dice. It got so bad, she told my homeboy, like, you are the only man I know that could talk yourself out of some. The only man.
Now I understand why the chill guy is so important in our gen. You know, the chill guy or whatever.
It's nothing wrong with being nervous. You know what I'm saying? But like, you can't talk yourself out of it.
No. And like you said, is like it's like when I say sexual. And this is why now, like, I don't. I have some friends, and you could put me in the category too. I was there, where it's like I have some people in my life that they think hypersexually.
Okay.
Where it's like, why does everything have to be an innuendo? Why does everything have to be perverted? Why does everything have to link back to sex? Or like writing a story, are you setting them up for sex? But I digress on that. It's like, so I'm, of course, now I get it when they said let the girl talk. That's its own etiquette. As me, a man seeking a woman, I'll let her talk, because I was like, you know what, mama? You're gonna give me an angle that I don't have, and I do want to learn something. Not just learn about you, but I do want to learn something else, because like I said, I'm gonna talk about games and stuff. I mean, no, I can give you a pretty dynamic conversation, but like I said, is the perverted conversations I've had with girls. Like, I did reach 1 or 2 points where they're like, what? You know, like and they're like, all right, you're kind of weird. Or again, it's like, bro, I make cartoons. There's cartoon porn, whatever. It's like I stop. I believe that you don't need to share your sexuality with people.
You don't have to.
You know what I mean? But what I mean is, when it comes to porn, right?
Yeah.
There's times where, like, on a place like Discord or whatever, we were talking about, what's your favorite animated erotic piece? And then they had one and they showed, and then I showed 1 or 2, and then they're like, hey, yo, hold on. You know what I mean? It wasn't anything like no, but I'm saying everyone, it's funny that, like, the people I had, they didn't feel yo about their shit. But then the minute you say something, you got some people where they're like, oh, you're a freak, you're a monster, while they're doing the same shit.
You're doing the same shit.
Yeah. I'm like, guys, why are we sharing porn? I'm not in that business. business.
Yeah, that is definitely different. So
we're desensitized, bro.
Do you think that porn and all that exposure to different sexual explicit things, you think that got your generation not being able to talk to each other? You think that's part of it?
No, we're cooked. This is what some senator, I think some Japanese senator said. He said that, like, he was talking about, like, like hentai, which is, anime porn, whatever. He was saying that, like, but in general, he was saying that porn throws you into a world of imagination. The reason why I said that the cartoon stuff is worse is because, like, you can draw whatever you want.
You can do whatever you. Some of that animation porn is insane.
Yeah, so some of the depictions are otherworldly, right? So the thing is that I feel like it fries your brain to where you would rather be in that world of imagination, because the real world can't fulfill those things. Well, one, you've wired your dopamine to where that's all you want. Yeah. But then in general, is not only are you dissatisfied with the real world, but you're dissatisfied with women, where you're like, and this was me, where I'm like, damn, I gotta talk. I gotta like have a relationship. I gotta talk to this girl.
Can I ask a personal question?
I mean,
did that kind of mess you up in the bedroom from getting started? Did you have to think about that to get started, or could she get you started, or
hey,
you know
bro,
what I'm saying?
You said personal. I really don't care. I ain't got that far. As recording of this show, I ain't got too far. And it was because of porn, probably. No. Porn probably played a big factor where, again, I just was a young kid, got exposed. Man, I got exposed to porn. You know what? Again, real man, real stories. I got exposed to porn in damn dog, like it had to be like 1st or 2nd grade, man.
Damn.
No. So yeah.
Well, I don't think it was that. Nah, I don't think with me wasn't that. But they got the internet. I don't think it was that early for me. I wouldn't even know what I was looking at.
I was around about the age of 10 because because we had the cable, we had premium channels, so Playboy channel was one.
Oh, dude, it's a void, man.
Yeah. Our porn is different.
But even those weren't even that.
That wasn't nothing compared to what they get. Yeah.
The stuff on TV or the stuff on satellite, like what you said, is like I was one that we didn't buy none of that, so I was looking at like hey, we on the show. I was looking at like QVC, like ladies and like bralettes, whatever. Hey, that's.
I used to find that channel that had that you could see half of it on 69 or 60 something, and it would be like. And hold on. I almost got caught with that one. Because everybody sleep. I said, it's time. I turn the channel on and it gets wiggly. You like, damn it, come on, straighten out. And somebody come back, you got to turn it off. I thought I saw a titty.
You remember
that's what I grew up on.
Back in the day, they had the last button where like you would just go back to the last channel.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, we had ninja reflex. We had ninja reflex.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Okay, just like any young boy, we were already like we already got ourselves in trouble by just getting caught. Where my aunt would walk in the room just to check up. She'd be like, "Go to the last channel. Go hit that last button." No. So it'd be like we was watching again because like in early 2000s we was watching like Nickelodeon, Nick at Night, and then we'd go back and it was like the BET like after 2 a.m. They showed some off the wall shit at like type stuff or Comedy Central.
The BET uncut.
Yeah, there you go, the BET uncut. So I was right at that tail end of that type of the dope BET stuff. That would be the next topic. But yeah, to answer your question, man, it's like I checked out at an early age, man. And the thing is, it wasn't like I was scared of girls. It's like, no, dog. I was literally just in my own orbit. Because again, as an artist, it's like I merged everything together, thinking that it's like, like you look at some anatomy books, you look at some of these manga books. Like when I was a kid, I saw some of these how to draw manga books, but my sister had a very complicated manga book that showed naked people. And I learned that line as an early age because I was already exposed to it, where it's like, oh no, I was looking at this sexually. Or I was looking at these anatomy books sexually instead of like looking at it educationally. So I was using that excuse of like, oh, I'm doing this or whatever. And then like we already had the internet. So like,
y'all
did.
Dog, and I'm telling you, dog, it's like, look, from the get-go, dog, there was already like, hey, look, I don't want to bring, this ain't the coolest place to name drop it off the thing, but like, you had sites like Newgrounds. Newgrounds is an incredible art site, but they had a adult section, and there was just, again, it was the World Wide Web. Everybody uploaded shit, and I just saw a lot of extreme shit at a very early age. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's what jacked me up as a kid is I was like, already in elementary, I was like, damn, I don't know how to communicate with these kids because I'm already on some other shit. You know what I mean? Type stuff.
What about now, dude? So how are you? Are you over it now? How are you getting yourself over it? What would you tell people how to get over it?
Yeah, okay, so this is what you got to do, man. Is like, it's funny, I just call it goon scrolling, but it's like, bro, get off of social media, man. Get off of social media, because again, this is like, and I am in that practice, but it's like, it's not a thing of like, oh, the whole semen retention, whatever, you know what I mean? I know that's a whole entity of its own, but it's like, guys, like, you don't need to be like, this is your life force. This is your life force. So yes, you do need to hold on to that.
Yeah.
For a good period of time until you need a release. But it's like that is your life force. That's where all your elements are. You know what I mean? Or like literally your zinc, iron, all that. That's where all your elements are. That's where your essence is. And like I said, it's just this stuff. The biggest problem I found is that it is the antithesis of productivity. That's what I tell my friends. It is the antithesis of productivity because, like you said, I don't know one man that does not like to run it back after orgasming.
Oh, yeah. The afterwards, the afterplay. That's what I told you.
Look, sometimes the second orgasm hits harder than
the first one.
Well, for a man, I tell people, for penis,
nothing comes out. You're like, well, I'm deceiving that, but it feels good.
2025 for penis owners, it's like it hits differently as you keep going. But I digress. It's just I say, guys, just again, stay on protocol, stay in the pursuit. Because that's what it was, is for me, I had to zoom out. I thought that it was like an existential thing I couldn't get out of. But I go, no, Wesley, bro, you need to not get bored. You need to practice idle. No, you need to be careful when you're idle, and you need to be careful when you're bored. You know what I mean? You need to be careful when you're alone. This is the spiritual side of it, you know what I mean? Because the idle mind is the devil's playground. But then also, too, I go, guys, your triggers. Because it's like the algorithm, right? Like you're talking about with AI, and I say AI because we think of AI as like the generative side. No, everything is an algorithm, and it has its own intelligence.
That's what it's all about.
Meta and these other platforms, I'm telling you, bro, as a single man, is that you look at one girl you like, Instagram will find you 30 other women that look just like her. They look just like her. You know why it loads for a second? Because it's building your read. You look at one post and then you scroll and you're just like, it's like you get excited like a kid at a candy shop. You just keep going. Again, I told them off screen, it's like you're cranking the jackpot. You're just cranking the jackpot. That's all you're doing all day. And that's what I was doing, where I'm like, You know, 1 bit, 2 bit, 3 bit. You know, just looking all day, and then then the real girl comes by. You're like, piss off, piss off.
It does,
I have a comic. When you go on my Instagram, I have a little comic where it's literally that. That was me. Where I'm just looking at my phone. I'm not even looking at the girls I'm talking to, or I'm just again on my burner feed, just staring instead of like just talking. And I'm not trying to sleep with the girls in front of me. Yeah. But it's still in general. I'm like, bro, like why don't you think? And I'm telling this to Wesley. It's like you think you weren't treating girls like the other species, bro, like a different species, but that's what happens. You stop you stop appreciating a woman and you start abstracting them.
You start abstracting them. We didn't need the internet to do that, though. We was doing that.
And I was abstracting them.
Before the internet, we was objectifying the fuck out of chicks. The 90s rap was insane.
Yeah. Oh, well, even like we were talking about too, is like even like in historic times, I'm sure that was like the craziest, the freakiest shit.
Yeah, I told you, I think women out of race, sex, throughout history, women had it worse. And there's shit. You know what I'm saying? They had it the worst. I can admit that. I ain't saying I'm mean, but I can admit that.
Let's bring up a conversation I had with Kelly one time. I told her I think the world was designed for the women to outweigh the men in the world. And I said it's by design. I said, because think about it. Men, we have more strength. Men, we're a lot more aggressive. So if it was more men than women, more women would be getting raped and everything. But by being more women than men, we have a choice. So that kind of keep us more idle. Well, I got a choice, so I ain't got to fight over this one. I ain't got to take it from this one because this one over here said yes.
Right. No, and then too, I mean, flat line, everyone can agree. Porn is all capitalism. Pornography is a byproduct of capitalism.
Pornhub, X and XX and all that stuff
like
that.
You know that they're all the same sites.
They're all the same. They're all owned by the same. I can't. There's one guy owns singly all of them. I can't. I
think it's Mind Freak or Mind Geek or something.
It's not the old school porn Larry Flynn. It's the new cats. It's some digital dudes, and they just bought all the porn. I was researching it. I looked through it, but you know what I'm saying? Like we on the porn and things like that. I got a couple of segments. I got like 2 last segments before you know what I'm saying. We get ready to close this thing out, but I got 2 segments.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the art and shit too. Like no, that was really important. Like what we talked about was really important, and I hope that it was constructive.
Well, his art is like a splash of chaos, but it's chaos, but it's also what's opposite of chaos? What's the opposite word of chaos? What you would say, organization?
I can tell you,
structure.
What you just said is what y'all just said. I want to let y'all talk, but what y'all just said is that's what I go by. It's controlled chaos.
Controlled chaos,
or chaos control for those who love Shadow the Hedgehog. You know, like you said, I don't think that I run off of chaos because chaos is not of God, and the thing is like, no, and what I mean is like, okay, I got depictions that what you want to consider holy, but it's like
grab one of these pictures.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, it's right there. I would say that it's like it's jazz. I call my stuff jazz. Like this, this is just a piece, but
I like this right here.
You know what I mean? So
it's the same piece, but yeah, go ahead, get your pieces. So yeah, this is what we got going on, man. Grab one. Oh, I like this one right here though, with the roses.
Appreciate it, y'all.
Now that is definitely fire. That is definitely fire.
Like y'all are saying is these are more like these are more specific in its theme. You know what I mean? Like it has an idea, but some of the more explorative stuff that you see, it's just my jazz. I call it jazz because like jazz is experimental and it goes places, but the thing about jazz is they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. You know what I mean? You listen to some free jazz and you're like, what the hell? But you're like, no, they know every single thing that they're doing. Or they have an idea.
In drawing this, like, would you get lost with all the different things that you put in this one picture? Do you get lost drawing it? Like how would you come up with the oil cans right here, the concept with the futuristic background, and you know what I'm saying? Like you see what I'm saying? Like
all the details.
Really cool, man? You mind just passing me the book in the backpack? I literally I will literally just illustrate it for you one sec. Okay, so to answer your this bag. Let me get the thing. To answer your question is here's some other stuff too for the cam. Oh, that's good. That's just my little napkin for my sweat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. One's like you said about control. I'm assuming this is the one that's going to be shown.
Yeah,
When you said control chaos, it's busy. It's busy.
Very busy.
Yeah.
But it's organized busy.
It's organized.
Like
right?
everything's in a straight line. I used to draw when I was younger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that right there is just a lot, and you got it placed.
Yeah. I had to draft this. So of course, like I'll go through some revisions. Like of course, sketch 1 through. I'll go up to a few sketches. I'm at this phase of my artistry where I'm confident in what I create, or in the sense of like I don't really do too many refined sketches. I should practice refining my sketches more because yeah.
I'm gonna talk to you off camera.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You might could do this for me.
Yeah.
Because the thing is certain thing I don't want to put out there yet because I need to make sure I need to make sure I trademark it.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, to answer that, it's like I should practice revising the sketches more because I feel like I like the stuff I make, but with some things I feel like that I could not only again, refine it, but I can also explore something else where it's like, hey man, look, that pose was cool, but why don't you make one or two others like a suggestion, like okay, a Photoshop or whatever, at least Lightroom and all these other ones. Lightroom, they'll give you suggestions of like, hey, why don't you use this preset why don't you use this preset or why don't you use that? You know what I mean? And maybe this lighting, because again, that's their machine. Their machine said, hey, we look at the amount of lighting and exposure that's in this image. We think that this preset might work for you. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean is for myself. It's like, Wesley, why don't we see this post? Like, why don't we? Yeah. Let's see a different angle or something real quick. I'm just sketch out literally that idea, right?
So go on and sketch it out. So I got 2 segments. You know what I'm saying in the interview. This is one of the segment while you sketch it out, man. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna say a word to y'all. Out with the first word that come in your head, say it. Okay? You ready? Y'all ready? Both of y'all.
Yeah.
Larry, you first.
I don't know if I'm ready.
You ready? P. Diddy. One word. P. Diddy, what's the first word that come in your head?
Bloody.
What did you say?
Baby oil.
Okay, since you said it first, right.
P. Diddy.
I was gonna say
one word now. Just one word. Just say one word. Spit it out.
I mean, I was gonna say liar.
Okay, liar. All right. Next name. Shit, I'm gonna go common. Donald Trump.
Racist.
I was gonna say ego. But I don't think. Well, you said the first word that comes off.
First word that comes to your mind.
Yeah.
Ego.
I would have said ego, but I would have said you can't say more than 2 words. But if you gave me 2 words, I would have said poor planning. But you know what I mean. But like I said, it's just
well, it depends. I guess it depends on concept because baby oil is 2 words, but I had to. Both words. It represent one thing. No, it represent one thing.
The word I thought was lotion. You know what I mean? But you said lotion, then I thought liar. Because I was like, just like whoever he lied to, type stuff. But like. No. With Trump, I was thinking ego, and I say ego in the sense of like you have the power to like make all these things, and then some of these things just don't go through, or then he's like, oh, okay, I actually messed up. Oh, okay, everything's actually going to shit.
Yeah. He don't care though. He's not. All right. Deportation.
Cool.
I want to hear yours. Ooh, I want this. This really for him. Deportation.
Hey.
Go ahead. What's the word, Larry? What's the word?
Agree.
I told y'all. That really. All right.
Because some of my past conversations where we already had, how I felt because of the job market for me. So,
all right. Next word. Healthcare.
Ghost. I don't. Yeah, that's the first word that came to my mind. Ghost.
Scam.
I had a feeling. I had a feeling. I had a feeling it was going to be scam. I had a feeling it was going to be scam. All right. What's the next word? The next word. R. Kelly.
Same thing. I mean, I was gonna say creeper.
I'm gonna have to go Kendrick Lamar on y'all. A minor.
All right, two more.
I guess you could say diddler.
We had a whole episode called the Diddler.
I wasn't gonna use diddler for Diddy, but it's like
Yeah, man. I thought we invented the word diddler. Did I hear everybody say it? I said we couldn't invent a diddler. All right.
It's such an easy way to categorize.
Yeah, because we used to say you've been diddling that booty hole, huh? Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go extremely political. I don't know what you're on with foreign things like that. Burkina Faso.
My nigga.
Burkina Faso. What the first word that comes to you? Burkina Faso. Ibrahim Traore.
Over in Africa.
That the independent African nation. Kick. Switch. Who was it? Dutch, Danish?
Oh no, it was the French. They kicked the French out and took their resources back from him, and because he's actually taking the country.
Oh yeah. I would say progress. I mean, that's the first word that comes to my mind.
Progress.
The last one, success.
Open. I like
Africa.
All right. So that was our one word segment, and I think you know what I'm saying why he's drawing.
Yeah, I'm good. I actually got
we get all right. So what you got going on?
Yeah. So let me know if the cameras can see it. Okay, so like what you just said, right? I already have the image in my head, whatever. So I'll just explain y'all. But it's like, when you draft things, I'm like, okay, the first thing that I needed to do when I had the idea, I'm like, I have the characters already. That's its own chapter. But let's say I have the characters, I know how they interact. But then I thought, okay, I wanted to draw a garage. So of course I did my research on references. Please, guys, do your research. Get your references if you want to really flesh out the idea to the fullest, in my opinion. So I got an idea of a garage, and then I was like, okay, so I've seen what a garage or a building looks like. So I just laid it out. Then I got the car, drafted it out, got the people. As you see, some things are darker because in this sketch, I'm showing you that this is the foreshadow. You know what I mean? That this is the things in front, the things that your eyes don't really pick up too much, because the lighting, you know what I mean? And then I had the characters and all that. So I say that because my approach is, I drafted out. In one of my older sketchbooks, you could see the actual ink drawing. But no. You gotta, I drafted out. For some things like this, I did it in pencil, of course.
So
and then I just
out with that because some people might not know what drafting out would explain drafting.
Well, in this case, let's say sketch. Okay. So drafting is the practice of it, but it's sketch, plan things out. I say sketch because some people sketch with pens. You don't have to sketch with a pencil, but I mean it'll help erasing if you're trying to plan things out. So so that's just it. Just
the only on my show you get an art lesson and talk about sexually explicit things all wrapped up in 1 hour.
We got a lesson, we got a lesson. Moments like this, this was also a reference to that
all wrapped up in 1 hour.
Yeah, I don't know if it was North Carolina or somewhere, but this is a real place. And I just saw the fountain. I saw it in a magazine. I think it was like Georgia Trend or something. But I was like, hey, that's dope. So I put my characters in there. Just like to take them places. You got to see this one on the camera. This is my boy Z. Shout out there, Z. That's me. This the gas in 2025 is too strong. This gas is.
All right, man. So we're at the last segment of the show, and it's called "Kill Yourself." So I'm gonna ask everybody a question about a person that just did something crazy, outlandish that you just cannot forget, and they were just dumb as hell for that. So you know what I'm saying? Who is your kill yourself candidate for today?
I would have to say it would have to be General Michael Langley, because this dude done told these lies on my homeboy over in Burkina Faso about they taking their resources and using it to the junta regime. Talking about that they're funding the junta regime. That's a lie. The French and America themselves are the ones funding them over there to damn mess with them because they don't want them. They want to divide them because they want to keep their hands on their resources. So that Sambo ass joker there, he need to go kill himself.
Kill himself, the first kill yourself for the day. So I know you were guessing today, but throw who you got. Who you think should be killing themselves today, man?
I mean, hey, you know what? Like what we was talking about, man. I mean, a guy like Diddy. I mean, hey, you know, he's gonna look. He may go out. He may go out Epstein style, man. I'm just saying, bro. And I say people like that is because like everything that's unfolding and seeing every behavior, you know what I mean? It makes sense, and everybody's putting the parts together, man. I'm just looking at it like I'm not the. I don't know if I'm the front man of the activism for it, but it's like just in general where I was like, yo, like you're bringing everybody down with you. You know what I mean? All the people that were harmed, all the people whose lives are ruined now. Everybody that was associated, whether they just visited or not. You know what I mean? I'm just looking at myself and I'm trying to make sure that I have my house in order and my desires in order because I'm like, you're going to take everybody down with you. And that's exactly what's happening. And this is going to be a 10-year campaign. And like you said, even dudes like Kelly, maybe they should do a code. Maybe they should do a code, you know, like you said, we're setting brothers back.
Setting brothers back, man. Back a couple of years.
So like he did a double tap kill yourself.
And my kill yourself is personal. I want everybody that works at Church's Chicken on Bankhead at night. If you don't want to come to work and you don't want to work, stay at home. Everybody that worked at Church's Chicken last night on Bankhead need to kill themselves. Throw yourself in the grease. Eat some of the damn chicken. That's all you really got to do. Eat your own product and kill yourself and don't come to work no more. This is Lee Johnson, Real Man, Real Stories. You know what I'm saying? My homeboy Weslie, my main man Professor. And we out, man. Peace. All right, there you go. I appreciate that, gentlemen.
Right,
I appreciate that, gentlemen. I appreciate that, gentlemen. I hope none of this stuff turned off. Oh, you still.